How is the XFL holding up after week 2? And is bad quarterback play gonna drive the league right into the ground? In today's video, we discuss. Cue the Wayne. I'ma go get her. So after 2 weeks in the XFL, the DC Defenders and the Houston Roughnecks remain undefeated, while the LA Wildcats and the Tampa Bay Vipers remain winless up to this point. At 1-1, you have St. Louis, New York, Seattle, and Dallas. Now today I want to talk numbers, specifically week 2 attendance numbers. Did they take a dip from week 1 like we all assumed they would? The answer is yes and no. I know, right? In a nutshell, overall attendance was up. Yeah, you heard me right. Overall attendance was up, but both teams that hosted their second home game, attendance numbers were down. If you Googled XFL today, that's probably the headline that you saw. But, now for some context. So overall, the league's attendance was actually up 9.5% from week 1. If you recall, in week 1, the XFL sold more tickets than the AAF did throughout the entire run. I know I keep saying that, but it's a big deal, okay? Because they did that in week 1, and then week 2, the numbers are up 9.5%. Now, the thing about that is the numbers are definitely skewed. And the reason for that is because it was still week 1 for many fans. Obviously, every team couldn't host a home game in week 1. So for those fans, their week 1 was basically in week 2. And those are the markets that really pushed the numbers up. Actually, one market in particular. Seattle Dragons fans, man, you know what I'm saying? Seattle Dragons fans put on a fanhood clinic with 29,000 people in attendance. That's pretty crazy. Remember, week 1 was super successful for the XFL, and each team had between 17 and 18,000 attendees. That was great. So for Seattle to come through and hit damn near 30,000 people, bruh. So it was that one huge number that bumped up the overall attendance. Like I said in the beginning, teams hosting their second home game, their attendance dipped just as we predicted, but by how much? Here in Houston, the attendance really didn't dip very much at all. Week 1, we had 17,800 people. Week 2, we had 17,100 people. Dipped a little bit, that's like 4% maybe. The number actually held really well, and we just had a classic game versus St. Louis. If you missed that game, by the way, and we're gonna talk about quarterback play, but if you missed that Houston versus St. Louis game, those are two of the best teams in the XFL. They're two of the most exciting teams to watch. If you missed that one last night, that's the wrong one to miss, man. Now, the DC Defenders, despite rounding off their top 3 as one of the best teams in the league, actually dropped from 17,000 people in week 1 to 15,000 people in week 2. They lost 2,000 people, about a 12% drop off. Now, it was a holiday weekend and there's some other stuff going on, so maybe that has something to do with it. 15,000 still not bad, and the reports coming out of there was that it was still live, it was still electric in the stadium, but that is a fairly significant drop off and something that we definitely should keep an eye on. Now check it out, there is a chance that the week 3 numbers will be up once again, because once again you got 2 teams playing home games for the first time. One of those teams is St. Louis, who's coming off, like we just talked about, an amazing game versus Houston, and based on what I'm seeing on Twitter, it looks like they've already sold that game out. Now the other first time home game is Tampa Bay, and I don't know if the Tampa Bay Vipers fans are still as excited and if they're gonna go out to support the team after 2 rough showings in weeks 1 and 2. Tampa Bay's got some things to figure out with their quarterback situation. They have yet to figure that out. We'll see what happens, but it's a really good sign that St. Louis is already pretty much sold out. Now, the TV ratings are arguably more important than the game attendance numbers. Unfortunately, the national TV ratings aren't out yet. I have seen rumblings on Twitter saying that a lot of the local TV ratings came out and that they're very good, and a lot of them better than week 1. If that is the case, bruh, that's gonna be crazy, but I wanna wait on the national TV ratings. Depending on how this particular video is received and how interested y'all are in this stuff, I might do another video once that comes out. We'll see. Now, the other topic that I wanna discuss is one of the things I'm seeing most of the XFL's detractors talk about, and even some of the XFL fans talk about. It's not like an illusion, it's a real thing, and that is the quarterback situation. The quarterback play has not been great outside of about 3 dudes. We all know who those 3 guys are. You're talking PJ Walker, Cardale Jones, and Jordan Ta'amu. If you tuned into an XFL game for the first time and neither one of those dudes was playing, chances are you left feeling like, yo, the quarterbacks here ain't it. If you tuned in and saw Matt McGloin play terribly and then blame it on his coaches and teammates, you probably didn't feel great about that situation. If you saw Aaron Murray's week 1, again, he was trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. My boy Josh Johnson didn't play great in his debut for the LA Wildcats yesterday. And the older quarterbacks, man, the guys that you kind of thought, okay, they're gonna go out here with their experience and their savvy and all of that stuff. Look, the young boys are completely running the show. Now, Cardale Jones is, I think, 27. He's a little bit older, but PJ Walker is like 24. Jordan Ta'amu's like 22. So the young bucks are out there. They got live legs and they playing hard. Cardale, PJ, and Jordan, with PJ and Jordan specifically, have crazy upside. With those 3 guys, the XFL has some pretty strong building blocks, but are they going to be able to hold on to him? Jordan and PJ have to get some NFL offers, bro. Assuming they keep this up. If they keep this up throughout the season, right, and there's 10 games, if they play 7 games, 8 games at the level that they've played these first 2 games, I don't see how they don't get an NFL shot. So the question then becomes, what's the XFL going to do to hang on to these cats? Now, I honestly feel like, and I've been saying this from jump, cats going from the XFL to the NFL is actually good for the XFL. It basically solidifies the league as a legitimate stepping stone toward the NFL. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you have here in this country other than college football, obviously. But with that said, I got to admit, if you got these 2 or 3 guys who are the stars, like the stars of the league, and they go, yo, it's going to be hard to not only replace them, but you still got 5 other teams who need quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? All the other talent seems fine. I know some people like to bag on the offensive line. These units just got put together. They're obviously not the cream of the crop. So I don't expect the greatest offensive line play ever. But if you got a talented quarterback, there's enough. There's plenty enough at the skill positions to put on a good showing. So all I know is that the XFL better drop a bag on Cardale, PJ, and Jordan, or give them some equity, some stock in the company, or built-in sponsorships, or all of those things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that they'll be willing to do any of that, but if I was them, I'd be trying to get real creative on how to keep these cats around. You know what I'm saying? Because even if they just match the money that these guys might make in the NFL, you got to look at the potential. If I go to the NFL as a backup getting paid the same thing as the XFL, I got an opportunity to turn that into like a starting quarterback contract in the NFL. I'm going to take that chance, not to mention this league is obviously, won't even need to go there. Like, it's the NFL. I can always come back here. At least that would be my mindset. I mean, 1 or 2 marquee signings could change everything for the XFL, or maybe they play their cards a little bit tighter and kind of sit back and try to get those fringe guys, you know, young guys, but 6-7 round picks coming out this year, undrafted guys and people like that who are young, hungry, have live talent, live legs, come out there, not be pouting, sitting on the bench like a spoiled child, and really come out there and put on for the league, or really for themselves, probably for an opportunity to try to get back into the NFL. But, you know, that's just what it is. Now, the league has talked to Colin Kaepernick. They've talked to Tim Tebow. Neither one of those deals has gone anywhere. So if you're the XFL, where is the next place that you turn? I don't really have an answer. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna holler at you next time, fellas. My name is FlemLo Raps. One.
Yeah, I'm no quitter, 'cause I'ma go get